Hi everyone, welcome to A Course in Miracles Live. We are just about ready to start our Way of the Mystic online revival weekends. And tomorrow we begin. So we're going to be starting at 6 p.m. Central Time on Friday night, tomorrow night, and then we're going to come on at 10 a.m. Central Time, Central Standard Time, and we will have a movie tomorrow, and we will have a beautiful introduction, a setup, some commentary during the movie, and a little pause there, for a bathroom break or a snack break, and then we will come back with some questions and answers. And then we will follow it up with this Sunday at 10 a.m. we'll have another session. So it's here, it's finally arrived, the Way of the Mystic online revivals, every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the way we went about it this week is we put out a poll about the kind of themes that we would like to focus on to really zoom into spiritual awakening. And so the polls, their combined results from the English and the Spanish, these were the top 5 vote getters. Number 1, coming in with 70 votes, how can I love my brother unconditionally without seeking approval? I want the strength, trust, and faith to allow the darkness to come up and be healed. That was 64 votes. Coming in third with 61 votes, I would like to find the simplicity of salvation and not be deceived by the complexity of the ego. Coming in with 24 votes, I need help to understand sexual desire and all physical desires from a higher perspective. And finally, coming in with 21 votes, I feel alone and desire to be freed from the belief in loneliness. So, along with that, we also have been tossing around and praying on different movie suggestions. And some of them that are still floating around in our minds are Brother, Sun, Sister Moon. That's the life of St. Francis. Since this Saturday when we show the movie is St. Francis Day. Tangled, that was my friend Francis Zhu's favorite movie, and Francis passed away on St. Francis Day. So that's another one. Frozen 2, Jesus Revolution, Doom of Love. Yeah, there's quite a lot. And I think we had some more. There was Love and Mercy, story of Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. We have Before I Fall. It's a time repeater looper movie. Maleficent. What Dreams May Come. Black Swan. Avatar. And Hulk. So it's quite a range of movies. And we'll be praying on one of those movies. So when we come back to the polls and the themes, our number 1 theme that we're going to be focusing on is how can I love my brother unconditionally without seeking approval? And the problem of the human condition has been that we have defined love in terms of time and space and bodies. So what we call romantic love, or love of a parent-child, or teenage love. It can be even love for things and for objects. It all relates to a linear story that was projected out by the ego. God did not create linear time. The ego made it up, it invented it, and then it interprets these stories in terms of a split. The split is actually in the mind, between the wrong mind and the right mind, but it interprets events on the timeline in this linear timeline story based on beliefs and thoughts, which are judgments. And these judgments are grievances, and so everything it interprets on the timeline in a linear story comes out as positive interpretations or negative interpretations, compliments and criticisms, and all of the interpretations are very personal. The story is very personal. And we know from these deep teachings from Jesus that the Christ self is abstract divine love. And so all these interpretations of the ego produce a veil of sleep, a veil of forgetfulness, a denial of that divine love, that unconditional love, that agape love. So when we ask the question, how can I love my brother unconditionally without seeking approval, we really have to start to see that these interpretations are based on the past. And that is what the timeline seems to be. It's just a repeating of an ancient instant, the unholy instant, over and over and over and over, and it's producing a veil of shadow figures. That's what the people are, and the interpretations of these shadow figures, that's where the problem comes in. Our second theme, I want to trust. I want the strength, trust, and faith to allow the darkness to come up and be healed. So what we have is unconscious darkness that is arising in consciousness, arising in awareness. And as it does, it's being interpreted as something upsetting happening, something that is being interpreted as upsetting on the screen of the world, the screen of linear time. And faith and trust and strength, inner strength, come from truly listening within, truly listening within, so that the transcendence of all the projections can occur, the transcendence of the belief in lack and scarcity, the transcendence of fear and doubt and control. And that beautiful sense of let all things be exactly as they are, and all things work together for good. There are no exceptions, except in the ego's judgment. So it takes us away from this belief in outcomes, positive outcomes, negative outcomes. The pursuit of positive outcomes, the avoidance or the anger and doubt and frustration at negative outcomes. All of the outcomes are based on false interpretations. And Jesus taught us the kingdom of heaven is within. Go within. Go into the stillness. Go into the I am presence. Go into the divinity. Go into the Christ. Go into the Spirit, the truth within. So it's so beautiful that we can actually see that we can go much, much deeper. And that's really what these revival weekends will be about, these online revival weekends. They'll be interactive, they'll be participative, they'll have seemingly inform a lot of variety, because there'll be lots of different ways that we see the presentations coming about. But the goal is, of course, to teach only love, for that is what you are. To rise above all fear and doubt, all beliefs in abandonment, in betrayal, beyond all beliefs in fear, all outcomes, releasing all outcomes, both positive and negative, and really starting to see the world as neutral, which is what the Holy Spirit sees as a neutral world. Ultimately, the teaching of the Course in Workbook Lesson 132 is there is no world, ! But a stepping stone toward that is seeing the neutrality of the world. One of the workbook lessons is my body is a wholly neutral thing. And so you can start to see that that's been the addiction of the mind. The ego belief system is a belief system in fragmentation, it's a belief system in judgments and categorizing. It's the categorizing mechanism of the mind, which is the ego, that generates the guilt and generates the fear, generates the upset. So the third theme we have, getting 61 votes, is I would like to find the simplicity of salvation and not be deceived by the complexity of the ego. And that simplicity, in Course in Miracles terms, is right-mindedness. To be right-minded is to be above the battleground, to see the impossibility of the story. No attempt made to interpret the story because it's seen as unreal. It's seen as without a cause. It's seen in its complete neutrality. That's the peace. And that's the simplicity of right-mindedness. Yeah, that's what we're focusing on with our mind training. So as we go forward, it's really an opportunity to participate. And I will include a video in the description that points to these live revival weekends, and I hope you will sign up and join us, because it's absolutely free and it offers an opportunity to expand awareness and also to participate. Participate by, watching, listening, questioning. There'll be opportunities for questions and answers, interactions. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful use of the internet. It's a beautiful use of a Zoom room to go into this deep experience together. So again, tomorrow, there we go, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight Time. It's going to be the start, the first session, and the theme will be focused on our first theme there. How can I love my brother unconditionally without seeking approval? Because seeking approval always is looking out to persons, bodies, and that's how the ego identity was set up. The world was projected. It says Jesus, the ego peopled the world. So this shaky self-concept, this shaky sense of unworthiness is based on the investment in personhood and the mask, personality. And as we open up to unconditional love without seeking approval, we go within for guidance. We go within for answers. It's just amazing to start to think there aren't good outcomes and bad outcomes. It's just, what is the guidance? If you just follow the guidance, like a workbook lesson, I will step back and let him lead the way. If you just follow the guidance, then you feel the flow, everything happening in perfect divine order, Nothing out of place. Nothing amiss. Nothing strange or weird. Everything in divine order and divine flow. From that perspective, from that purpose, from the purpose. Let all things be exactly as they are. And from the miracle, just seeing the false as false, that is truly, truly a gift, truly a blessing. So thank you for joining me for this brief live, and please join in. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. starts the first session. And these online Way of the Mystic weekend revivals. Yeah, very sweet, very precious, great opportunities. Take care.